reference. Okay, so again, so we're now on the antiderivative or the indefinite integral. So let me have a question for you. So please give me an answer on our chat. So which of functions f of x whose derivative is f of x equals to 2x plus 1? Is it letter A, f of x equals to x squared plus x plus 5? Is it x squared plus x minus 1,000? Is it x squared plus x plus 1/8? Or is it x squared plus x minus 5? So which of functions f of x whose derivative is 2x plus 1? So given all of those functions, so pag dinerive mo daw sila, the answer will be 2x plus 1. Is it A, B, C, D, or any answer? A, A. How about the rest? A. All of them. Okay. All. Okay. B. All. Okay. So let's try to see. So x squared plus x, so derivative ng x squared, it's 2x. Derivative of x, it's 1. So derivative of 5, it's 0. So therefore, for letter A, it's 2x plus 1. So letter B, ganun din, di ba? So 2x plus 1, so the derivative of negative 1,000, 1,000, it's still a constant. So therefore, that is still 0. Tapos, x squared plus x, it's 2x plus 1 plus 1/8. So what's the derivative of 1/8? It's still 0 because that is constant. X squared plus x minus pi, derivative of pi, it's 0 because pi is constant as well. So in short, those four functions are different from each other. Okay? So those are different from each other. The difference is just the constant. So one is 5, the other is negative 1,000, the other is positive 1/8, the other is negative 5. But still, those are different functions. However, once you derive those functions, they have the same derivative. Okay, so same derivative, but different functions. So in antidifferentiation or in integration, so it says that a function f, capital F, is called an antiderivative or indefinite integral of a function f in the interval I if the capital F of f prime of x is equals to the lowercase of f of x. So for every interval x in the interval I. So meaning the capital F is what we are referring as the antiderivative, okay, of the given function f of x. So the process of finding the antiderivative is the antidifferentiation. And sometimes you are referring to that one as integration as well. Okay, so the process is antidifferentiation or integration. So once we perform antidifferentiation or integration, so the answer to that is the antiderivative or the integral. Okay, so the antiderivative or the integral. So once we once we differentiate one function, okay, so we'll get the derivative. And then once we integrate, okay, so the derivative, so we'll get the integral or the antiderivative. So based on the question I had before, as you can see here, so we have 4 different functions, 1, 2, 3, 4, but its derivative is the same, which is 2x plus 1. And we have mentioned that if I'm going to integrate. Okay, so the 2x plus 1. So I'll be able to get a certain function, so which is the antiderivative. And the antiderivative there is this, which is the 2x plus x. However, as you can see here, so x squared plus x, pare-pareho silang x squared plus x. The difference is this plus 5 minus 1,000 plus 1/8 and the negative 5. So usually, if we have 2x plus 1, once we find the antiderivative of the 2x plus 1, so there will be no way for us to get again the plus 5, the minus 1,000, plus 1/8, and the negative 5. Kasi pag in-integrate mo to, the answer here will just be x squared plus x. Okay? Pero as you can see here, yung original function natin, it contains a constant. So to represent that constant, so we are adding plus c. So we have an arbitrary constant c here, and this c would represent, it could either be a positive 5, a negative 1,000, a positive 1/8, or a negative 5. So in finding the antiderivative of any function, so we always append the arbitrary constant c at the end. Okay, so that is to represent for this constant na hindi na mababalik. Okay? So after the differentiation process. So if the f, okay, uppercase f, is a particular antiderivative of f on an interval I, then every antiderivative of f on the interval I is given by f of x plus c. So we find the antiderivative f of x, and then we add the arbitrary constant c. So it's always the case. So the antiderivative should always have plus c at the end. Okay, so plus c at the end. So I've used this one a while ago. So this symbol is the anti-differentiation symbol, or denotes the operation of anti-differentiation, or that would be the integral sign. Okay, so the integral sign. So given that the integral of f of x dx is equal to f of x plus c, or we can read that one as well as the indefinite integral of f of x with respect to x is uppercase f of x plus c. Okay. So this is the antiderivative. So ayun, di ba? So we have that one as the integral sign. F of x is the integrand. So dx is the differential of x, which denotes the variable of integration. So doon natin malalaman, so what would be the variable that we are integrating it to? So kung dx yan, ibig sabihin, we integrate it with respect to x. With dy, we differentiate it with respect to y. And then c would be the arbitrary constant, or the constant of integration. So we have 4 rules, basic 4 rules that we will be using. Okay, so for the antiderivative. And then as we go on, so we add more formula or more rules. However, those rules will still be integrated. Okay, so with these integration rules. So the first one is the constant rule. So the constant rule states that if k is any real number, then the indefinite integral of k with respect to x is kx plus c. So let's say we just have, what's the integral of dx? So the integral of dx, k here is equals to 1. So therefore, this is 1 plus c. So the integral of, let's say, k is 5. So the integral of 5 dx, that would just be 5 plus c. So that's on how to use the given, the constant rule. The second one, we have the coefficient rule. So given any real number, coefficient a and integrable function f, so it can be written as this. So as long as a is a numerical coefficient, so then we can move it out Okay, out of the integral sign. So let's say we have 5, and then we have x plus 2, or x squared plus 2 dx. So what we're going to do here would be, so we can move out 5. So since 5 is a numerical coefficient for x squared plus 2, so that would be 5. Tapos, the integral of x squared plus 2 dx. So we find the integral of x squared plus 2 dx, and then afterwards, we multiply the answer to 5. Okay, so that is this one. So wala siyang plus c. Okay, so wala mo na siyang plus c kasi meron pa siyang integral sign. As long as we still have the integral sign, we don't add the c, the arbitrary constant c. So gawin mo dito, kuhanin mo muna yung integral ng x squared plus 2. And afterwards, you add c. Okay? The third rule. So we have the sum and difference rule. So the sum and difference rule only states that if we are to find the integral of the sum and difference of two functions, so we can just simply distribute the integral sign to each given function. So let's say sum and difference of f of 1 plus f of 2. So let's say the integral of 2x squared, then the other one is plus and minus 4x dx. So to find the integral of this, so we can do the integral of 2x squared dx, and then plus and minus the integral of 4x dx. So we can distribute, okay? So we can distribute the integration or the integral symbol to each term, as long as the operation is addition and subtraction, as long as it is a sum and difference. But take note, class, if the operation is multiplication and division, we're not doing it like this one. Okay, so let's say, for example, I was given the integral of f of 1 of x, and then times f2 of x dx. And then is it equal to the integral of f1 of x dx times the integral of f2 of x dx? It's not. Okay, that is not equal. So we cannot do that. Okay, so we cannot simply get the integral of f1 and then get the integral of f2. Afterwards, the integral will be multiplied. Wala tayong rule na ganon. So similarly, for example, if I would have the integral of f1 of x over f2 of x, then multiply it with dx. So again, this is not equal to finding the integral of f1 of x dx and then divide it with the integral of f1 of x dx or f2 of x dx. So these two, there's no such rule. Okay, so there's no such rule. So therefore, do not do those operations. No? Or do not use those formula. Walang ganun na formula. Sir, paano kapag ganyan siya? Okay, so if it is a product or if it is a division, there are different ways on how to do it. The first thing that you can do will be perform the operation first. Product ito, baka pwede mo silang i-multiply. Pag multiply mo, it will result to a sum and difference. So kung quotient naman yan, try mo silang i-divide. Pag ba-divide ko sila, it will be transformed into sum and difference. Okay, so that's the first thing. So if there would be product or quotient, so we perform the operation first. So tapos kapag pinperform mo yung operation mo, and then it transform to sum and difference, then okay. Pero if after still doing that, it's still a product, or this is still a division, this is still a quotient, huwag mo nang ipilit. Okay? Sabihin no, there is another way on how to do it. Okay? Hindi pa lang naturo. Okay? So, i-discuss natin yan sa succeeding topics natin. And then the last one, we have the power rule. Okay. So remember this one in derivative. So how do we derive power? We just have n times x raised to n minus 1. Right? So we bring down n, and then the power will be n minus 1. So that's how we derive it. Okay, so that's why if I would have x cubed, so that would be, so bring down 3, and then x raised to 3 minus 1. So that will become 2. So I'll have 3x squared. Okay? So 3x squared. So ngayon, if I'm going to integrate this, so this one should become, so the integral of 3x squared dx. So I'm going to follow this formula. That is x raised to n plus 1 all over n plus 1. So ito, I'm going to follow the coefficient rule. So this is the same as 3, the integral of x squared dx. Tapos, I'm going to use this one, the power rule. So x squared, so that would be 2 plus 1 all over 2 plus 1. And that will become so 3 x cubed all over 3. And finally, so cancel lang yun. So I'll just have x cubed plus c. So which is the same as this. Diba? So yung original. So that's how we use the power rule. Okay? So let's have our first example. So for our first example, so we will use yung mga tawag dito, yung mga integration rules natin. No? So let's start with the first one. So what can we do with this one? Okay, so we can use the coefficient rule. So move out 5. So 5. Or ano muna pala? Yung sum and difference muna. Okay, so sum and difference. This one will become the integral of 5x dx plus integral of 7 dx. So this one is sum and difference rule. The second one, so coefficient rule. We move out the coefficient. So 5 integral of x dx, then plus 7 integral of dx. So this is the coefficient rule. And the next one, so we can use the power rule. So 5, so multiply the x raised to n plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, all over 1 plus 1. So we've used power. And then plus 7, the integral of dx is 1. So this one, that is the constant rule. So we've used all 4, right? So 7 times 1. And then, so for our final answer, so will be, so we have 5, so x squared all over 2, and plus 7 times 1 is 7. Then we combine, so 5 times 1 half is 5 over 2, x squared plus 7, and afterwards, plus c. So we have 5 all over 2, x squared plus 7 plus c. So this is the antiderivative, or this is the integral of the given function 5x plus x, or 5x plus 7. Sir, paano po naging x raised to 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1? Ito. Kasi di ba this is x dx? Ito yung formula natin. It's the same as parang x raised to 1 dx. So what are we going to do? Itong formula. Ang n natin is 1. So x raised to 1 plus 1 all over n plus 1. 1 plus 1. So making it x squared all over 2. Okay? Okay. So 5 over 2x squared plus 7 plus c. Yes, Floyd.
Hello po sir, good morning po.
Good morning.
Yes po, for the constant rule po, assuming that the constant 7 po, kapag kukunin po ba yung integral po ng constant, hindi po ba lalagyan ng x po?
Ay,
Or
sorry.
as this?
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay lang po
There
sir.
should be 7. Tama. There should be x here. It's not 1. Thank you for that. Okay. So
Yes.
integral of dx, it's x. Okay. So that would be 7x. Okay. Very good. Okay. Ayun nga, no? We can check, okay, so whether this is correct or not. So we're going to derive. So ang sagot natin is 5 over 2x squared plus 7x plus c. So we derive this one. So with respect to x, so this would be 5 over 2. Yeah? So what's the derivative of x squared? So it's 2x. And plus 7. So derivative of x, it's 1. And then derivative of c, it's 0. So 2 will be cancelled out. So I'll have 5x plus 7. So ayun siya na. So 5x plus 7. So kaya kung ang sagot natin kanina, o yung sagot ko kanina, ang nakalabas lang is 5 over 2 x squared plus 7. So ang lalabas dito would just be 5x plus 0. I'll be able to see then that my answer is incorrect. Okay? So if that is the case, kasi hindi siya bumalik dun sa original, so there's something wrong. So yun nga yung mali. The integral of dx, it's x. It's not 1. Okay? Ayun, di ba? Integral ng dx, it's x. Yung derivative ng x, yun yung 1. Okay. So let's proceed with the second one. So wala nang tanong doon. So number 2. So we have 6x to the 4th minus 9x squared minus square root of x dx. So we followed the sum and difference. So this would be 6x to the 4th dx, then minus integral of 9x squared dx, then minus. So whenever we are seeing a radicals, okay, so we transform this one into a rational exponent. So the square root of x, that is the same as x raised to 1/2. Tama? So it's x raised to 1/2. Then multiply it with dx. And then, so coefficient rule, so 6x to the 4th dx, and minus 9, the integral of x squared dx, and minus the integral of x raised to 1/2 dx. And then, so we perform quotient rule. Okay, so x to the 4th dx. So that would be 6. Multiply it with, so ito hindi na ako direction na natin. So 4 plus 1, that will be 5. All over 5. Plus minus 9. Multiply it with x raised to 2 plus 1, 3. All over 3. So minus, so ito, x raised to 1/2. So, ang n natin is 1/2. So, paano yun, di ba? So, 1/2 plus 1. So, mag-LCD ka ng 2. This is 1. So, 2 times 1, 2. So, the answer will be 3 all over 2. Pero shortcut, okay, so since ang ina-add mo lagi namang 1, magagawin mo lang, basta nag-add ka ng 1, numerator plus denominator over denominator. So, yun lang yun. So, numerator plus denominator divided with denominator. Yun yung lagi sagot pag fraction. So, x raised to 1 plus 2, it's 3 all over 2. So, tapos ang sa baba, 3 all over 2 din siya. Okay? O ngayon, combine mo na lang. 6 times 1/5 is 6 over 5, x raised to 5. And minus 9 divides 3, 3, x cubed. And minus, paano yung 1 all over 3 over 2? Diba this is the same as 1. Multiply it with the reciprocal of 3 over 2, which is 2/3. So that makes it 2 over 3. So kaya minus 2/3 x raised to 3 all over 2 plus c. So 6 over 5, x to the 5th, minus 3, x cubed, minus 2/3 x raised to 3 over 2 plus c. So that becomes our answer, or the integral, the antiderivative. Question? Clarifications?
None naman po, sir.
Kahit i-derive mo to, babalik siya dun sa una. So pag dinerive ko yan, 5 times 6 over 5, that is 6. Next is so 5 minus 1, it's 4. Minus 3 times 3, it's 9. X, 3 minus 1, it's 2. Minus 3 over 2 times 2/3, 1. Then x, 3 over 2 minus 1, it's 1/2. That's 0. So which is this one. So 6x to the 4th minus 9x squared minus square root of x. Saan po galing yung negative 3? Ay, dito. Kasi ito, 9. 9, divide mo sa 3. It's the same as ano eh. 9 times 1/3. So which is 9 over 3, which is 3. Ito kasi 6 times 1/5, kaya 6 over 5. Ito, 9 times 1/3, 9 over 3, kaya 9. Okay? So I'll proceed. Okay, what if ganito siya? Ito yung sinasabi ko, ay yung 1/2 po, sir. 1/2, 1/2. Anong 1/2? Ito? X over 1/2. So anong x over 1/2? Kasi ito, integral niya lang would just be, ayun, di ba? Magpa-plus 1 ka lang. Ito siya. Kaya 1/2 plus 1, so magiging 3 over 2. Ang madali lang dyan, i-ano mo na lang, numerator plus denominator over denominator. So 1 plus 2 is 3 over Denominator, it's 2, kaya 3 over 2. Okay. Yeah, after the discussion, I'm going to send this note on our chat dun sa GC. So every time, you don't need na mag-lecture. Makinig lang kayo. Okay? I'm going to send this one on our GC. Okay. So, for cases like this, sabi ko nga, hindi pwedeng kuhanin mo yung integral nito, and then kuhanin mo yung integral nito, and then you'll get the product. So that would be the integral of the function. Hindi siya pwedeng ganito. So if there would be a product or multiplication that is involved, as long as you can multiply it, okay? Kung madali naman siyang i-multiply, then multiply it. Okay? So in this case, madali naman siyang i-multiply. So I can distribute this one here and then distribute the other one over there. So this would make it, so y cubed times 2y squared, that will be 2y to the fifth. Then minus y cubed, multiply it with negative 3. So that will become negative 3y cubed. So 2y to the fifth minus 3y cubed. Then multiply it with dy. So 2y cubed minus 3y cubed, multiply it with dy. And then, so diretso ko na, no? Combination of this sum and difference rule. So plus the coefficient rule. So this one will become 2, the integral of y to the fifth dy. And minus 3, the integral of y cubed dy. 3y cubed dy. So next, we can now employ the power rule. So y, 5 plus 1, it's 6 all over 6. And minus 3, multiply it with y raised to 4 over 4. So we'll have 2 times 1 over 6, it's 2 all over 6, y to the 6 minus 3 over 4, y to the 4th. Let's see. Or simplify it further, so 2 over 6 is 1/3, y to the 6 minus 3 over 4, y to the 4th, plus c. So remember this, if there's an operation involved, it's either multiplication, division, expansion. As long as it is easy to do it, then do the operation. Otherwise, you may need to use another method. Yes, Ethan.
Sir, sunod-sunod po ba yung pagkakasunod ng mga rules po? Like sum and difference, coefficient, then product po, ganun.
Most of the time, ganun siya. Okay, so laging nauna yung sum and difference and coefficient, then huli yung power rule. For this type of functions.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Okay. Yeah, Janus, good morning. Paano po naging 1/3 po sa final answer? 2 over 6. So 2 over 6. So ang 2, di ba? That's just 2 times 1. Ang 6, 2 times 3. So cancel lang yung 2. That will make it 1/3. Lowest term. Other questions? Clarifications? Okay. Another one. So this is the same. But what I'll do with this one is, basta may nakita tayong radical, so transform it into a rational exponent. So that would be x raised to 1/2, multiply it with x plus 1 times dx. And then, so since there's an operation involved, so we multiply. So what is x raised to 1/2 times x? So diba sa rules of exponents, if the base is the same, which is x, so we add the exponent. So what is x raised to 1/2 times x? X raised to 3/2. Okay, so 3/2. Kasi 1/2 plus 1 is 1.5. 1.5 is 3/2. Okay, so x raised to 3/2. Then plus x raised to 1/2 times 1, it's still x raised to 1/2. And multiply it with dx. Tapos, ayun, yung Salmon difference rule na. 3/2 dx and plus the integral of x raised to 1/2 dx. So ito yan. So since fraction siya, so yung madaling sinabi ko, numerator is 3, denominator is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. All over 2. So all over 5/2. And plus x raised to 1 plus 2, 3. All over 2. Over 3/2 plus c. Then, so since nasa baba yan, and then wala naman siyang coefficient yung x, ang gawin na lang natin would be the reciprocal. 2/5 x raised to 5/2 plus 2/3 x raised to 3/2 plus c. So 2/5 x raised to 5/2 plus 2/3 x raised to 3/2 plus c. Okay? Questions?
None naman po, sir, for now.
Okay, good. Okay. Ito, no? So test your knowledge. I'll give you 5 minutes to answer this one. And then, on a piece of paper. And then take a picture of it if you were able to answer it. Then send it to our GC. So the first one to get the answer, correct answer, okay, so may additional points. So I'll give you 5 minutes. It's 4:50. I'll be waiting for an answer and a solution until 4:55. So isend dun sa GC natin. Okay, E101. So the first thing that we can do here is divide. Okay. So divide 5x cubed plus 2 with x over 5 over 3. So remember, whenever we are dividing terms, okay, the same terms with uh, the same base, so we subtract the exponents. So ang gawin natin dito would be, first is 3 minus 5 over 3. Two more minutes. Now, 1 minute. Ako nagsisend. Yan, yan. May nag-send. Okay. No oras for. Wala na bang iba? We'll answer it. Then later on, tignan natin yung sino yung mga tama. Okay? Okay. Sige, I'll answer this one. And then later on, tell me kung sino yung mga tama. So, hanggang kay ano lang Sino yun? Ethan. So, tatlo lang yung nag-send. So, let's answer this one. So, to answer this one, this is the same as this. 5x cubed over x raised to 5 over 3 dx. Tapos yung isa plus integral of 2 all over x raised to 5 over 3 dx. Okay, so what are we going to do with this one? So this would be the integral of 5. So ano muna siya niyan? Yung 3 minus 5 over 3. So this is the same as 3. So 3 times 3 is 9 minus 5. So that would make it 4 over 3. So we'll just have x raised to 4 over 3. Okay, that's a 3 minus 5 over 3. So take the LCD, which is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. And then, so 3 divides 3 is 1 times 5, negative 5. So 9 minus 5 is 4 over 3. Then dx, then plus integral of 2. So usually, pag nasa baba yan, what are we going to do with the x raised to 5 over 3? So ilagay natin siya sa numerator for us to use the power rule. Okay? So para magamit natin yung power rule, so that would become x raised to negative 5 over 3 dx. And afterwards, so we perform 5 x raised to 4 over 3 dx, then plus 2 integral of x raised to negative 5 over 3 dx. So 5 power rule, x raised to, so kanina, 4 plus 3, 7 over 3. Then, sa baba, 7 over 3 then. And plus 2, negative 5 plus 3. Negative 2 over 3. So, x yun. So, x raised to negative 2 over 3. Kasi negative 5 plus 3, it's negative 2. Then, divide mo lang siya ng 3. Then, negative 2 over 3 tayo dito. So, it's equal to, so this one would be 5. So, yung ginagawa natin kanina, I'll have 3 all over 7. And x raised to 7 over 3. So, ito naman, so plus 2, multiply it with negative 3 all over 2, x raised to negative 2/3. So, pwede na pala natin lagyan ng plus c doon. And then, so 5 times 3, it's 15 all over 7, x raised to 7 over 3. Yun yung isa. So, yung 2 will be cancelled out. So, positive times negative 3, it's negative 3, x raised to negative 2/3 plus c. So, pwede na to, or gusto mong ibaba yung negative 2/3, gawin mo siyang positive, okay lang. Pero, okay na rin ito. So, 15 over 7. So, meron bang tama? Hindi yung una. Pangalawa. 15 over 7, x raised to 7 over 3 minus 3x raised to negative 2/3 plus c. Okay, so tama si Floyd. Fifteen over 7 x raised to 1/3. So kulang lang yung sa ano, no? Mali yung pangalawa. Okay. Sinong nakakuha? Floyd, no, right? Floyd Miko. Floyd. Si Floyd. Nasulat ko dito. Floyd Miko. May plus 5. Dun sa quiz 1. Okay.
Thank you po.
Sabihin mo sa akin pag nakalimutan ko, ano. Hindi, susulat ko. Para pag nag-quiz. Okay. Hanapin ko na lang. Dun sa notes. Okay. Mali ito, no? Tanggalin ko na lang. Okay, that's fine. 5. Okay. Ito lang. Introduce ko lang. See, we have the chain rule, no? There are cases na, for example, if we have this function, g of x, then pag dinerive ko siya, which is this one, g prime of x, I'll get the rest. So, it's integral then. It's just simply the fg of x. Okay. So, parang ano lang yun. For example, if I would have the integral of u du. So, u, that's a derivative of u. It's du. Okay? So, if I derive u, and then nakuha ko yung kasama niyang lahat. Okay? So, I can use the power rule. So, what's the power rule here? So, that would just be u raised to n plus 1 all over n plus 1 plus c. So, if I would have u, and then I derive it, I get the rest. Okay? It's exactly the same. Okay? At least in the variable side. So, then I can use this formula. Kasi there are cases, for example, in here. Can I distribute 7x to 2x squared? Yes or no?
No po, sir.
No. So because of this, 6. Di ba? So ang gagawin mo, you need to expand this first bago mo siya ma-distribute yung 7x. Kaya lang, kung i-expand ko to, raised to 6 yan, naubos ng oras mo. Okay? So it would take a lot of time. Okay? So to do that. So if that is the case, although pwede naman. Di ba? Kaya lang, ang sagot mo, masyado mahaba. Okay? But there are cases that we can use the substitution or the integration by chain rule. So what are we going to do? So ito kasi, this is the same as tanggalin ko muna yung 7, no? Kasi using the coefficient rule. And then I'll start this one yung 2x squared plus 1 raised to 6. And then may x pa tayo. So multiply it with x dx. Yeah, this is the same. So ni-rearrange ko lang siya. So unahin ko yung may power. Kasi usually, pag nag-let ka ng u, yung may power, yun yung u mo. Okay? Kasi u will become 2x squared plus 1. 2x squared plus 1. And pag dinerive ko ang u, so which is du, so that will become 2x squared will be 4x dx. Derivative ng 1, 0. So derivative ng 2x squared, 4x dx. Okay. So ngayon, ito yung u natin, di ba? So u raised to 6. But the problem is, this is x dx. Our du is 4x dx. Okay? So they are not the same. Anong difference nila? Ang difference nila is this 4. So walang 4 yon. Okay? So kung gusto kong maging ganun siya, kasi ang gusto ko, it should become u raised to n du. So para magamit ko yung power formula. So u raised to n du. So meron na tayong u raised to, ang n natin is 6, but ang du natin, supposedly, it's 4x dx. Pero ang du dito, it's only x dx. Kulang siya ng 4. So anong gagawin ko? Ang gagawin natin would be 2x squared plus 1 raised to 6. So maglalagay ako ng 4. So 4x dx. Diba? Kasi yun yung du ko supposedly. It should be 4x dx. But the problem is, this one, at saka ito, they're not the same. Ito, sobra siya ng 4. Ito, wala siyang 4. So what am I going to do? So para maging equal sila, I'm going to neutralize it. Diba? So magdi-divide ako ng 4 dito. Kasi yung 4 dito at saka yung 4 doon, 1/4 times 4, that is 1. So therefore, ito at saka ito are now equal. So ang tawag natin doon, it's the neutralizing factor. Neutralizing factor natin dito is 1/4. So because of that 4. So kaya ang mangyayari niyan, ito siya. So 7/4, the integral of 2x squared plus 1 raised to 6, 4x dx. Ang u natin is this one. And then ang du natin is 4x dx. So tapos nun, I can now use the formula. So ano yung integral nito? That is u raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. So in short, that would be 7/4. Multiply it with, ang u natin, it's 2x squared plus 1 raised to 6 plus 1, it's 7 all over 7 and plus c. So this would be cancelled out. So ang sagot natin yan will be 1/4 2x squared plus 1 raised to 7 plus c. So that is the substitution method or the chain rule for power formula. Okay? So we'll have more of this on Monday. So by the way, yung nakalagay yung assignment doon, I'll extend it to Wednesday. Hindi tayo natapos. Okay, so I'll send this one to our GC. AE 101. I'll stop the recording.